Hello, everyone. Good afternoon once again to the Shins. And this is again Teacher Anna, your learning partner. So today we are going to learn lesson number 7, and this is about the client services and methods in social work. So at the end of the lesson, guys, we are going to learn to identify and describe the clients of social workers. Second, determine the needs of individuals, group, organizations, and communities that social workers address. Third is to describe the settings where social workers conduct their practice. So imagine yourself, you are a social worker, and let's try to identify our clients. Let's try to determine the needs of our clients, like the individuals, the group, the organizations, and the communities. And then let's try to put ourselves in the shoes of social workers so that we can describe the settings where social workers conduct their practice. Okay? Okay, so let's go. Let's learn about lesson number 7. Now, let's try to know about the clients of social workers. So, in the past few lessons, we have learned about the clients of counselor. Now, we are going to know about the clients of social workers. So, there are three types of clients for the social workers. We have the individual clients, groups or organizations, and communities. So, sino-sino ba tong mga individual clients? So, they are usually those who are handicapped in their financial, personal, or social relationships. So, yung mga tao na handicapped or walang kakayanan in terms of financial, in terms of personal, and in terms of social relationships. We also have groups or organizations. So, groups or organization may refer to families experiencing calamities and difficult circumstances. Example, we have homelessness due to fires or typhoons. So ito yung mga grupo ng mga individual, just like families, certain barangay, certain purok, so just like that. So in a group, they have experienced calamities or the difficult circumstances, like yung mga biktima ng mga typhoon, yung pamilyang biktima ng fires, yung mga pamilyang biktima ng mga differentiated calamities. So they are the clients of social worker too. So they belong in the groups or organizations. Next is communities. So communities, guys, this include informal settlers who migrated from other areas and facing unemployment and other problem in the city, as well as communities devastated by natural calamities like typhoons and earthquakes. So ito yung mga komunidad na nangangailangan ng tulong, guys. For example, a group of people nga gipramisan nga moadto og abroad. So niadto sila og Manila, and then na-scam day sila. So dili day to tinuod nga moadto sila og Manila, ay gipangwartahan lang day sila sa ilahang recruiter. So kato sila karon, madungag to sila dito sa city in which they don't have employment, wala sila trabaho, o daghan po sila problema nga ma-encounter dito sa city. So that's why they are also uh, what we call the communities that the social workers serve. So they are the clients of social workers. So they belong to the communities. So just like the informal settlers, so most likely yung mga informal settlers natin doon sa Manila is galing siya sa province, like for example, na scam or kanang gipromisan og trabaho didto tapos wala. So most likely mahimo na lang silang informal settlers. Like for example, mapuyo sa daplin sa dagat, mapuyo daplin sa mga kalsada or ilalom sa tulay. It is because they don't have they don't have employment or wala sila trabaho, ug daghan po sila og problema, just like wala sila makaon, wala sila mapuy-an, just like that. So those communities, guys, are served by the social workers. So if you want to be a social worker someday, so walang pinipiling tao ito, guys. Dapat dili jud ka arte. So you need to accept differentiated human being. Just like mga homeless nga tao, mga handicap nga tao, o katong mga tao nga walay trabaho, mga tambay, just like that. So you need to accept them and help them. So let's build a better world by helping those in needs. Now let's go to the next one. So we also have the social or the settings in social work. So sa social work, guys, pwede ka magtrabaho sa gobyerno or sa government. Pwede ka magtrabaho sa private sector. You can work in a community, in a civil society, in a school. Okay? So you can work here, government, private sector, community, civil society, and school. So most likely dito sa government is the SWD, Barangay Health Center, just like that. So ah, sila yung tumutulong sa gobyerno para malutas yung or malaman din yung mga problema in terms of government. So here in the settings in social work, guys, it is very broad. So malawak yung saknaw niya, guys. The broad scope of social work enables its practitioners to thrive in wide variety of settings. Social workers are found in the government, okay? In the private sector, in civil society, schools, and in communities. So, ito yung settings in social work. So, broad talaga yung setting ng social work, guys. Kasi sinasabi nila pag magtrabaho ka as a social worker, it is either in a boys town, girls town, or in a charity work, or in kuan lang ka, DSWD lang kataman. But no, it has a very broad scope. So you can work in a government sector, you can work in the private sector, you can work in the community, you can work in the civil society, and in school. So let's start with the government. So we find social workers, guys, in the government, in different branches of government, both of the national and local levels. For instance, they work at the Department of Social Welfare and Development. As I said a while ago, maraming social worker, guys, na nagtatrabaho sa DSWD. So we also have the executive department primarily responsible for upholding the social welfare of Filipinos. So yung DSWD, guys, ang kanilang primary concern or primarily responsibility or responsible for upholding the social welfare of Filipinos. So kasi uh, in the old days, we don't have the SWD, pero nakita nila yung need talaga ng DSWD. Like for example, yung mga ano, uh, gimong punching bag ng kanilang mga mister, just like that, na mga biktima ng rape, and a lot more ka ng mga biktima sa mga inhuman nga mga tao, and then in different calamities pod. So mao na sila ang nagatabang. So they execute and they uphold the social welfare of Filipinos. So ang ila yung katuyuan is para magkaroon ng magandang buhay ang mga Pilipino. So that is for the DSWD. Now let's go to the private sector. So for the private sector, guys, social workers often serve as human resource development officers. So kapag nahire ka sa isang private sector, it is made up for profit companies, meaning gusto sila na nadyo sila income ang nga companies. So, you need to work in a private sector. So, dito isa kang empleyado. So, social workers often serve as a human resource development. So, kasagaran sa ilaha, they are hired as a human resource development officers who facilitate health and wellness programs that help employees maintain their work-life balance. So, para ma-maintain ng mga empleyado yung work-life balance, like for example, like dapat alas 5 lang gyud mo taman, or dapat ka ng healthy gyud ang ato ang mga empleyado, and then they are well pay off, just like that. So usually mo na ang trabaho sa social worker in private sector. Sila yung nag-facilitate ng health and wellness programs para sa mga empleyado. Sila yung na-assign sa human resource development. So we also have civil society. So si civil society guys, just like the European Economic and Social Committee. They are the civil society against COVID-19. So sila yung tumutulong na ma-inform at malaman ng iba't ibang tao or iba't ibang individual kung ano na ba ang unsa na ang kahimuan sa COVID-19, like na nabay vaccine, pila nakabuk ang death rate, pila nakabuok ang mga nag-survive, just like that. Unsay dapat himuon para malikayan ang virus, just like that. So they are in the civil society. So it encompasses, guys, those organizations and groups including non-governmental organizations. So kung si private sector is for-profit company, si civil society is not for-profit company. So most likely, it is for good cause, like the charity groups, the non-governmental agencies or organizations, the faith-based, yung mga religious groups na tumutulong sa bawat society. And then we also have labor unions and community organizations. So meron din kaming ambag noon sa civil society, guys. Just like when I was in my college, we are teaching kanang remote areas sa banda dira sa Esperanza. We have feed several children, and then we give clothes, we give gifts, we also give mga pagkaon, mga simpleng pagkaon as a volunteer for civil society. So, isa yung example ng grupo na tumutulong sa iba't ibang tao. So, most likely, ang nag-conduct ani or ang nag-lead ani is yung mga social worker. So, they are the civil society. So, they are the NGOs, charity groups, the faith-based, the religious groups, the labor unions, the community organizations. So, that form part with the civil society. So we also have the school. So the school, guys, is both public and private schools employ social workers. So yung mga social worker natin, hindi lang sila for private schools lang. Pwede din sila for public and private schools. So they employ social workers who work as teachers or university professors. So sometimes sila ay naging teacher, labi na kung ang kana siya nga eskwelahan is nag-offer og social worker nga course, social work nga course. And then they are also university professors, they are also researchers, like usapa matambalan ang inani nga problema. So sa ilaha is sa pangutok o sa mga behavioral sa mga tao. So inana siya. So we also have they can also be administrators. As I said a while ago, they can also be an HR or human resource personnel, or sila yung maging head. Pwede din. So, we also, that would be all for the settings in social work. So, we have government, private sector, so you can also work in the community, you can also work in a civil society, you can also work in a school settings. So, those are the settings in social work. Now, let's go to the next one. So, dito sa ating services, processes, and methods in social work, guys. So, we have differentiated services, processes, and methods in social work. So, dito sa ating libro, we have just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 services, processes, and methods in social work. So, isa dito is yung case work. In the next page, we are going to talk about the case work services usually katong mga included sa casework. So, what is a casework? So, social workers, guys, primarily deal with individuals who struggle in adjusting to life situations and are in need of outside support. So, sila yung mga social workers nga nagadeal og mga kalain-lain nga mga tao nga nag-struggle in adjusting to life situation. Like, for example, mga new employee, mga kanang gusto magbago yung buhay nga mga drug addict. So they are struggling in adjusting to differentiated life situations and are in need of outside support. So si casework mo na siya or si social worker nga nagatrabaho kang casework is nakafocus ng ana, and then they are going to do their best to cure those wounded heart, just like those victims of bullying, those victims of, or those homeless people, those runaways. So itong mga layas. A social worker helps them achieve full recovery toward becoming productive members of society. So, importante kaya ang trabaho sa mga caseworker, guys. Like mga social worker nga nagtrabaho sa casework, it is because they may help or they can help those persons, specific person nga naka-experience ana. So dili lalim labi na if you are a victim of bullying. Labi na kanang grabe na jud gani nga bullying, like life and death na siya. And then we also have the homeless people. So most likely yung mga homeless people kaning wala na pag-asa sa kinabuhi ba, di na gusto mo trabaho, di na gusto mo kaon, dili na gusto mo uh, kita og adlaw, kay gusto sila mamatay lang sa ilang paghigda, just like that. So they are also, or they can be a form part of case work, which the social worker will help them to struggle or to help them adjust to life. So we can also say, we can discuss the inclusions of this casework. So we have the financial and material assistance, giving advice, securing shelter and care for clients, improving the conditions of clients, securing information professionals from other fields. So those are examples of casework. Now let's go to the social group work. So ano ba yung mga ano, concern ng ating social group work. So sa social group work, guys, they are very concerned with the development of better human relations. So para magkaroon ng magandang relasyon ang bawat isa. Like for example, yung mga kaklase nyo, dapat magkaroon kayo ng magandang relasyon. So however, it is a particularly focused on group experience. So most likely it is focused on group experience. So social group work helps clients develop more socially acceptable and desirable behavior. So for example, Grace Coyle defines group work as a voluntary activity involving shared experiences among the members of a group and aim at bringing about the growth of its members. So that is Coyle 1939 in Winmer or Whitmer 1942. So we have the group work also aims to foster greater camaraderie among individuals and members of a community. So dito sa social group work, guys, ang ginatrabaho ani sa social worker is like yung bawat isa o yung bawat miyembro ng isang grupo ay magkaroon ng magandang relasyon, magkaroon ng camaraderie or greater camaraderie, yung pagkakaisa at pag-work as one. And then, that is among the individuals of a certain group or members of a community. So now, let's go to the next one. So we also have the community welfare organization. So ano pala tong community welfare organization? So sa community welfare organization, guys, it focuses on the establishment of relationship between two or more groups to improve the community. This social work service is an aspect of community organization which involves public and private agencies in developing the community and empowering its people. So, dito sa community welfare, guys, ito yung mga social worker nga nag-focus lang yun sa establishment of relationship. So, tabang sila para ma-establish ang relationship of two or more groups to improve the community. Like for example, ang pagtutulungan ng mga differentiated NGOs like Rotary Club, o mga other clubs nga motabang, like for example sa mga fire victim or sa Yolanda victim or those people who are in need. So sila yung mga tinatawag nating community welfare organization. So nagtutulungan sila para sa better cause or bigger cause. So, this social work service is an aspect of community organization which also involves public and private agencies. So, pwede magtulungan yung mga public and private agencies to come up with a better solution or better plan for the problem, and then developing the community and empowering its people. So, kailangan maging resilience yung ating community. Like, even if anumang unos ang dumating, anong bagyo ang dumating, dapat mananatili pa rin matatag ang ating community. That's why we need to empower the people. So, ito yung trabaho ng ating community welfare organization. So, those are the ano, uh, social worker nga naga-aim for the community welfare organization. So we also have the social research. So all of us, so tananta is a researcher. So, but the social worker, they are also commonly known as the social research or the social researcher. So social workers, guys, undertake research when they perform casework. So mag-research na sila kung mag-perform na sila casework. Isulat na nila kung kana unsay nahitabuan ni nga tao, unsay problema ni nga tao, gyud sa niya pag-overcome yung problem, and then gyud sa niya pagka mahimong successful na karon. So, just like that, we also have the group work, just like when you read about the Yolanda, research about katong mga experiences sa tao sa Yolanda, phenomenology or phenomenology nga mga research study, and then community welfare organization. So they use their findings to better understand their clients and improve their services. Social research is done using both qualitative and quantitative methods as well as tools and methods from other social sciences such as psychology, sociology, and anthropology. So they are what we called social research. So, ito yung mga social worker nato nga nag-undertake og research. So, most likely, kung nagka-perform sila og case study or casework, so naapod sila research ana. Kung nag-perform sila og group work, napod sila research ana. Kung nag-perform po sila community welfare, napod sila research ana. Because that would help, like, kung tayo na pa-improve nimo ang community based on that research nimo and recommendation, so that will be adopted by many societies po all over the world. Now we also have social action. So for the social action, guys, this is the concrete. Okay, the concrete action taken by social workers. So ito yung ginagawa ng mga social worker para suportahan, masulbad ang mga problema, or they can also gain support for their advocates or advocacies from mass media, policymakers, and government officials. So yung social action, guys, ito yung mga concrete action or mga step-by-step action ng mga social worker para magkaroon sila ng support sa kanilang mga advokasya, para magkaroon din sila ng support from the social media, magkaroon sila ng magandang passage with the policymakers. So, sila mo tabang sa mga policymakers na mubuhat o ginani nga policy para matabangan ang certain group of people, and then to cure poverty, just like that, or to cure differentiated diseases. And then a concrete example of social action, guys, is lobbying for the passage of a proposed bill to become law. So nagatabang sila, nagalobby sila, kani siya nga law, nindot ni siya, makatabag ni siya sa kadaghanan. So just like for the Gawad Kalinga, Gawad Kalinga is one group known for social action. So kuan ni siya kanang mga sikat nga mga social action or a grupo nga nag-perform of social action. So working with the mass media organizations, guys, Gawad Kalinga has encouraged a number of donors to support its advocacies. So merong klase-klaseng advocacies ang social action, magdepende siya sa differentiated goals sa social worker. So just like in Gawad Kalinga, nga social action, so through that help of guys, different media organization na katabang sila. Okay? They have encouraged of donors and then support for its advocacies. Now let's go to the next slide. Okay, for our last slide, guys, as I said a while ago, dito sa casework natin, it has usually involved ano, five services. So, first one is the financial and material assistance, guys. So, ito yung clients are not meant to be dolly out or dole out but are given to provide immediate help. So, kato tong mga tao nga nanginahanglan jud og immediate help like kwarta for food or kwarta for medicine, just like that. Then we also have giving advice. So case workers advise clients to have courage in dealing with their difficulties and making decisions independently. So sila yung tagapayo, sila yung taga-encourage ng mga kliyente nila nga nagaagi og difficulties, mga problema, mga challenges sa kinabuhi para magkaroon sila og sound decision and independent decision. We also have securing shelter and care for clients. So this one includes helping in the construction of temporary homes such as tents and bunk houses for the victims of typhoons. So itong securing shelter and care for clients, guys, ito yung mga mostly yun na ginagawa ng mga social worker. Ginatabangan nila panday silang balay. So, just like atong grupo sa mga social worker, nga niadto og Yolanda, nitabang sila construct sa balay, nitabang sila og himo og mga tent, nitabang sila pakaon sa mga tao, luto. So, that is also securing shelter and care for clients. So, this one is for more of the house or something pwede mapuyan sa mga client. We also have improving the conditions of clients. So, mao jud ni siya, no? In casework jud, dapat dili jud mulungan ang usa ka kliyente nimo hantod nga dili mo lambo ang iyahang kinabuhi. So, casework involves making sure that clients are able to adjust to their new environment. So, dili to nila pwede biyaan nga nagkayamukat pa ang client, kundi ilaha jud nang iplastar tanan nga sila na nindot na panginabuhian, nindot na balay, food shelter o makuha nila ilang mga basic necessities kasi wala na ang social worker. So we also have the last one is securing information for professional from other fields. So nindot po ni siya, no, collaboration ba dapat mangutana ka kung uy mas nindot lang ito iyang idea nga inani ang gibuhat with its clients. So that's why we need to collaborate. So social case workers in hospitals, clinics, rehabilitation centers, and correctional institutions gather data for doctors or administrators. So nagapangutana na sila sa doctors. Kung inanihan sakit inani, so what will we do? And then sa administrators for depreciated administrators, they are also asking them and then to enable them to understand the socioeconomic background of their patients. So para may balaan nila unsay sakit, unsay dapat buhaton ani nga klase nga mga client or kliyente. So that will be all, guys, for our last topic for first quarter. Okay, so thank you so much for listening to Dishes, and always remember to do your very best, especially in our assessment, and always remember to make your parents proud. Have a great day, Traditions, and see you again. Bye. See you, everyone. Let's go now to your assessments.